All right, welcome to this class. Today we are going to look at total quality management, right? And when we talk about quality, quality can be defined in different perspectives depending whether it is a product or a service, right? So total quality, when we talk about, let's first look at what quality is. Quality is, let's look at the futures. It can be referred to, some organization refer to it as the customer satisfaction. Yeah, as long as the customer is satisfied, that will be quality. And then also quality can be fitness for use, right? Fitness for use. So when you talk about total quality management, it's a comprehensive kind of activity that is undertaken to ensure that we have goods and services that are fit to be used and that satisfy customers, right? So quality, depending on, we know who a customer is, yeah? So we have external customers and internal customers. External ones are the ones that we know, those ones, the end users. So they can either be end users or intermediate processors. The intermediate processors are those ones that will purchase your goods and use them as inputs in the production, yes, as raw materials in the production process. Those are the intermediate processors. So external customers are not only the end users but also intermediate processors, right? Then also we have internal customers. Yeah, these are other divisions of the company that receive the processed product. Yeah, so it might not be only the external customers, but even when you are the one working in that company, you may find that they give you maybe an option to buy the goods there, but maybe at a cheaper price. So you'll be an internal customer, right? So we are going to look at quality in the perspective of not only a product, but also in the perspective of what? Of services, right? So what are the reasons for why quality has become a cardinal priority for most organizations? Cardinal means important, right? So let's look at reasons why organizations are focusing on quality. Number one is competition. Yeah, competition. So when there is competition, basically it encourages, it pushes for quality, isn't it? If your competitors are selling a quality product, you also have to match, isn't it? Or you will have to improve your quality to make sure that you have a core competence, you have you're better off, you outcompete your rivals or your competitors. So competition is one reason that that organizations are focusing on quality, yeah, total quality management. Then changing customers. You find that customers keep on changing, and you end up getting new customers that are interested in the quality, right? Then changing product mix. By changing product mix, we mean that the trend is changing from providing low volume and high price. Are we getting it? Low volume of goods and service, but with high price. So it's changing from that trend, and it's changing to the trend of high volume, low price. Are you getting? High volume, low price. So how can you benefit when you're selling high volume at low price unless you're focusing on quality. Are we together? So it can be high volume, low price, but you'll increase the sales because of what? Of the quality. Because it's not, remember that if we are looking at the factors that affect demand, it's not only price that affects demand, isn't it? Even quality of the product, isn't it? So that the trend is changing from low volume, high price to high volume, low price. Then product complexity, product complexity, in a way that systems, the way things are being done is becoming complex. Yeah, technology is changing, isn't it? So with for example, changing technology, quality has to change. Organizations have to put quality in consideration. Then high levels of customer satisfaction, high levels of customer satisfaction. So organizations, they are focusing on quality simply because they want to satisfy customers. So let's look at the perspectives, perspectives in which we can define quality. Yeah, perspectives in which we can define quality. There are a number of them. We can look at quality in different perspectives. One of them is perfection. Perfection, yeah. Perfection. Then consistency. 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 We are going to look at all these. Then eliminating waste. Quality can be in terms of eliminating waste. Remember when we were looking at the 7 wastes, when we were looking at lean production, where we saw that it involves eliminating waste, removing variability. Are we together? Eliminating, then speed of delivery. Speed of what? Of delivery. Remember when we also looked at motion as a waste, whereby if people are lining, we looked at queuing, if people are lining, if people are lining, that is not, it's not going to be quality service. Would that be quality service if people are lining maybe in a bank and the line is out there up to I don't know where? Will it be quality service? That's not quality. So quality is also measured in the perspective of speed of delivery, then compliance with the policies and procedures. Compliance with the policies and procedures. For example, if we are to look at Uganda National, here in Uganda we have Uganda National Bureau of what? And that a product has to conform to the standards, isn't it? Sorry, to the policies and procedures. It could be that maybe if we are looking at education, isn't it? If we are looking at education, there are procedures that you have to follow, isn't it? To be able to teach. For example, you have to look at the curriculum. It has to be in line maybe with the curriculum of the National Council for Higher Education. Are we getting? You must have the facilities where to teach. So you have to align with those what? Policies and procedures. So they will now know if you've abound with the policies and procedures. They will now give you a go ahead. Are we together? It can be even a product. What procedures are you supposed to follow? Are we together? So we can measure quality in that perspective. Then we can measure quality in terms of doing it right the first time. Doing it right the first time. doing it right the first time. Then delighting or pleasing customers, customer satisfaction, delighting or pleasing, delighting or pleasing. If what you're selling is not pleasing customers, then that's not quality. Then total customer satisfaction and service, total customer satisfaction and service. So all those are perspectives in which we can measure quality. So let's look at Edward Deming. Edward Deming is Edward Deming. He advocated for what he calls statistical process control, and he put across 14 points. 14 points for improving quality. Edward Deming. Deming is D-E-M-I-N-G. Edward Deming. He was a Japanese. So he put forward 14, what he called the 14-point program. Yeah, you've heard of the 10-point program. So, so I think those things are borrowed. We are borrowing leaves from somewhere. So Edward Deming called it the 14-point program for improving quality. And in these 14-point programs, I want you to have actually highlighted and made bold the key elements, what you should take out as most important in each point. So I'm just going to be giving you like what is most important, like out of each sentence of these 14. So number one, he said that employees, there should be a statement of aims and purposes. There should be a statement of aims and purposes. As an organization, you should have an aim, not just producing products or providing services, but an aim. What is your aim? For example, your aim might be customer satisfaction, yeah? So any organization or business should have a statement of aims and purposes for the company. And then learn the philosophy. Philosophy, you know philosophy? Learn the philosophy. Learn the philosophy. Philosophy is PH. Yeah, that's another point. Learn the philosophy. Philosophy is PHILO, PHILOSOPHY. PHILOSOPHY. So you learn this philosophy of the organization, Are we together? Then understand the purpose of inspection. You just write inspection, You know, when you're inspecting, we are going to see what inspection means. But basically, when you're inspecting, you're trying to find out, for example, is this product, does it have defects? You're checking it out before it is being sold. That is inspection. And then end the practice of awarding business on the basis of price tag alone. End the practice of awarding business on the basis of price tag alone. In other words, it should not only be price to determine the quantity demanded, isn't it? But quality should actually be priority. Because it's one thing to lower the price, but when the quality is low, people will not buy. So he said that end the practice of awarding business on the basis of price tag alone. End the practice of awarding business on the basis of price tag alone. Then improve constantly. Improve constantly. In other words, continuous improvement. Improve what? Constantly. You can never say that this product is 100%, but you keep on doing what? Improving. Total quality management is a continuous what? Process. And most of these basics of total quality management are actually built around Deming's 14-point program of improving quality. We are going to rotate around these 14 points. So if you get these 14 points, every point that you're going to explain in regard to quality is going to be, the basics are going, elements of total quality management, they are going to rotate around this man's 14-point program. So there are people that have introduced philosophy that will work for, I think, forever. Then he talked about training, institute training. That when you want quality, for example, you have to train these workers. Yeah? Train them on how to, for example, if it's a product, train them on how to, if it's cakes, maybe train them how to make those cakes the best way how. So that they can, when you have the skills, you will produce the quality, isn't it? Than when you are just maneuvering. So he talked about training, institute training. Then he talked about leadership. You just write leadership. Talked about leadership. So leadership is key. Yeah. We know that the success of every organization is influenced by the leadership, isn't it? Then he talked about driving out fear. Drive out fear from the employees. So when you're confident of what you're doing, you at the end of the day, you produce quality products and you also provide quality services. So it's in a way that driving out fear would basically create environment for innovation. When you as the boss, it's one thing to be a boss, but when people see you, everyone pretends they are doing something, even when they've not been doing anything, because they know that when you find them seated, probably you will say, you're not working, I've sacked you. But if you're free with your employees, you're driving out fear, isn't it? And they will be confident of themselves, and at the end of the day, they'll even be inspired to add value to the organization in terms of bringing maybe new ideas that can improve the product, or that can take the organization forward. Then he talked about team efforts, team efforts, working as a team. We are going to see other ways of quality management, whereby for example, quality circles, whereby people come into a team, employees in an organization, they team up to work on a problem that they've identified in an organization. Then he talked about eliminating exhortation. Eliminating exhortation for workforce. Eliminating exhortation. Now, exhortation is like encouraging someone to do something. Eliminating exhortation for the workforce. Exhortation for the workforce. Exhortation is like you're supposed to do your role. Yeah. It's like I'm supposed to teach, but people are supposed maybe I want people to come and bend low for me, that madam, come and teach. Are you getting? It's like I don't know what I'm supposed to do, but I'm at the workplace, but I need to be pushed around. Are we together? So if you eliminate that and you let people know to like what they are supposed to do, for example, and do what they are supposed to do at the right time, instead of pushing them around. So I think that point is clear. Then he talked about 11 is eliminate numerical quotas for production. Eliminate numerical quotas. Quotas is Quotas. Quotas is Quotas. Right? So here, instead of looking at, for example, quantity, you'll be looking at quality, isn't it? Instead of looking at quantity, how much have we produced? It's one thing to produce a lot in high volume, but when it's poor quality, isn't it? No one will buy. The demand will be low. And it's also another to produce low volume, but when it's high quality, people will buy, but you might sell it expensively and you get a higher revenue than someone who is producing substandard goods or services. Then number 12, remove barriers that rob pride. Remove barriers that rob pride of workmanship. Remove barriers that rob pride of workmanship. There are those elements or factors that when you're proud of your job, what you'll even do, like, should I say extra, you'll give it your best than when you're not proud of your what? Your job. Some people even don't want to say that I work here. They are not proud of their jobs. But when you are proud of your job, even you'll have that the motivation, the zeal of doing your job, and at the end of the day, you're going to your quality is going to be attained by the organization. Then number 13 is encourage learning and self-improvement. Encourage learning and self-improvement. Yeah. So you as an employee, you should keep on learning, because learning never ends, isn't it? And also self-improvement. Look at your weak areas and be able to, like maybe you can be in IT, but you can be an IT person, for example. Look for, areas where you're not good and try to learn. Be inquisitive, isn't it? Research. So that alone will make you a more valuable person, isn't it? And at the end of the day, quality is going to be attained by the organization. Then lastly, number 14 is take action. After you've done all, you now take action, you put into practice, you implement, in other words. Take action to accomplish the transformation. Take action to accomplish the transformation. So those are the 14 point programs of Edward Deming that he did put across that should be looked at in terms of improving quality. So let's define quality in the dimension of goods. Let's define quality in the dimension of goods. So I'm going to just highlight, but don't highlight for me in the exam or the test. Because when I'm giving this, I explain, and I'm not going to spoon feed you. So you must be very, you must listen very well and note down. So quality in terms of goods can be looked at performance, can be looked in the perspective of performance. For example, if I bought a laptop, how does it work? I'll look at its performance, isn't it? And then I'll know if it's a phone, how does it work? Are we together? Then features, you look at the features. Features, FEATURES. Yeah? So for example, if it's a phone, you look at its features. Does it have WhatsApp? Are we getting? Does it have Facebook? Does it do this? So those are the features, for example, for the phone. And you base on that to look out for the quality of that phone, for example. Then reliability. Now, for example, if it's a phone or if it's a laptop, maybe you might look at it in the perspective of the reliability of the battery, isn't it? If the battery spends one day, however good it may sound, you may not look at the brand. Maybe it's Apple, even if it's Apple, but when the battery, my dear, spends one day, you know it. Are we together? You rather take maybe Dell, which takes a week. Are we together? So how reliable is that battery? Are we together? Then durability. Durability. I believe all of us know durability. Durability is how long will it last? Hmm? If for example I buy something and maybe a phone, but it works for 1 month and it's kaput. You know kaput, eh? Kaput is a German word. I will not buy. Hmm? So you look at her durability, then conformancy, to conform. Conformance is like, does it align maybe with the standards? Does it conform to the standards? Maybe if it's a product, does it conform maybe to the standards of maybe the National Bureau of Standards? Are we together? Then serviceability. Service, then ability. Serviceability. Now with the serviceability, if it's a machine and you bought it and it happens to break down, can it be repaired? Hmm? Can it be repaired? That is the question. If when you buy it and it stops working, that will be the end of it, it cannot be repaired, then that's not quality, isn't it? You're looking out for someone that maybe if it's this laptop, if I buy it and it blacks out, maybe it can. For example, if I'm looking at phones, I know Nokia is a good brand. That even if it falls in water somehow, they can repair it and that's what. But there are those other brands where if it falls in water, you forget about it. So that's what we mean by serviceability. Then aesthetics. Aesthetics. Now, aesthetics is about beauty. You look at the beauty of the product. Some people are just attracted by the physical what? The physical appearance of. So this one is beauty basically. And then perceived quality. Perceived quality. Now with perception, perception is like a thinking. What I think about you is what I perceive about you. So there are people that think that maybe perception is what, it may not be of good quality, but if okay, like there is this perception that whatever is Chinese is.
It's just a mindset.
Actually a mindset. Perception is like a mindset of quality. That when I tell you that I bought a Chinese phone, I know what comes into your mind. What comes into your mind when I told you that, if I told you that I've bought a Chinese phone? What comes into your mind? It is what? It is fake. So that is perception. It is what? It is perception. But not all Chinese products are what? Are fake. There are those which are fake, we will not refuse. But there are those which are also good. Because these people, they cater for everyone. They cater for the poor people and for the high income people, isn't it? So when I tell you that, if I told you that this is a Chinese phone, I know what is going to be in your mind. That is a perceived quality. What it may not be really like you're looking at it in terms of its actual quality, but what I think, isn't it? So, for example, someone might change the naming, the brand, because they know if I put made from China, people are not going to buy. So that is just a perception. Have we got it? Perceived quality. Then that was quality in the perspective for goods, in the dimension of goods. So let's look at quality in services. Dimension of quality in services. So quality in terms of services, hmm, can be also measured in terms of reliability. Yeah, reliability is that if, for example, I placed an order, will I rely on you to supply that order, maybe the right order, that kind of thing? Can I rely on you? Are we together? The service. Then tangibles. Tangibles is, for example, like when you are talking about service here, we are looking we are looking at, for example, a bank. Banks provide what? Services. They don't provide what? Products. So when you talk about tangible, is something that is if I can touch it, yeah. If I can touch it, then I can do what? It is tangible. If I cannot touch it, then it's what? It's intangible. So, like with the service, for example, if it is a bank, hmm, they are providing service, but at the end of the day, much as it is service, are the loans there? Are they being provided? Are we together? Or they can be, maybe they are giving you mortgages. You know mortgages. Are those houses there? Those houses that they give you on loans, are they there? Are we together? Much as it is service, but at the end of the day, it has to come back to practicability. Have we got that? For example, if it is a bank that is providing, okay, let me say maybe insurance, because even insurance is what? They provide service, they do not provide products. Yeah. So at the end of the day, are they giving out, like when your car, like it's called third party, when your car gets an accident, at the end of the day, are they really compensating these people? Are there testimonials that these people have been compensated because their cars got an accident? Are we together? That's what I would refer to as tangibles under quality in service. Then responsiveness. Responsiveness. Now, with responsiveness, it has to do with, let me say, if it is a telecommunication company and maybe I've placed in my complaint on phone, how do they respond? Are they rude? Are we together? Like how much time, it could even be how fast are they going to respond? Are we together? If I go in a restaurant, for example, and I've ordered for something, how are they going to respond to me? How are they going, first of all, it can be in terms of speed, but also speed determines the response time. Are we together? So that is responsiveness. Then assurance. Assurance. Assurance is, if I have assurance, it means I have like the trust, isn't it? Trust. Assurance is that I'm comfortable, I'm at peace, that maybe if maybe I've ordered for a car from abroad, I have that assurance. If I say that I have that assurance that it will reach to me safely, that this maybe third-party logistics company will work on everything, on all the transactions, and deliver it to me safely. I have that trust. Are you getting it? Then empathy. Empathy is E-M-P, E-M-P, empathy. E-M-P-A-T-H-Y. E-M, E-M-P-A-T-H-Y. So empathy is to share feelings of another. Share feelings of another. So empathy For example, if a customer came at the workplace and they are dissatisfied, are we together? Are you going to like put all the fault on the customer? Find out what is the cause of the problem before you do what? You react. Like personally, what happens to me is that I can give this example. Is that maybe a student might be missing their marks. Are we together? So they come to me and they're like, Madam, my marks are missing. I will not like, I will not, what should I say? I will not like be very quick to criticize that, you know what, you did not submit, isn't it? Because it can either be on the side of the student or it can be on the side of the lecturer. Are we together? It can be that maybe when I was capturing, I forgot to capture. Are we together? But the script maybe is there. If it is a physical script or if it's an online submission, the submission is there. So I will not be quick to react. I'll tell you, okay, you're missing your marks. When did you do the exam? I'll be very, when did you do the exam? Where did you submit? I'll ask questions like that. Did you sign anywhere? If it was a physical exam, then I'll get to know what transpired. Then from there, alright, it's disconnected.